there is some specific things that Maggie can talk on that she is just the best at. So let's see if we can run this guy. All right. So why are we here? The purpose of this class is that you've built your Christmas display. You've got this great, awesome display or show or whatever. And okay, great. Now, how do you get the word out about it? Your neighbors know about it. They see it. But what about somebody that lives on the other side of town? How do they know to bring their kids and see your display? How do you gain that popularity? How can you be the next Matt Johnson or Tom George or anybody else, right? How can you be the next Carl Mirsky? Well, that's kind of what we're here for. We're going to learn how you market your display, how you get it out there. And of course, yes, you could advertise it, but that's not what this is about at all. We're going to promote it, we're going to grow it and share it organically through Facebook, YouTube, things like that, and let it build its own audience because those sources are totally free. That's a great way to do it. It's just all free. So the first part of that is I'm sure we all have it. If you don't have it, you need it. A Facebook page dedicated to your Christmas lights. For example, mine for years now has been the Magical Lights of Malcolm. And that's our Facebook page. You're going to want one, whatever the name of your street is, or the name of your house, or the town that you live in, if it's a small town like mine, or whatever, right? Whatever clever name you come up with for your display, that's what you're going to want to create a page for your display so that you can market it. So, what makes that page good and what makes that page work? Okay, and I can show you some things from our page, but first off, you're going to want a like a profile image, just like with Facebook. You want a profile image that makes it obvious and apparent what you are. So yes, if you have a profile picture of yourself on there, that's great. But it's, if you have it of your house with Christmas lights or some sort of Christmas light thing, that'll make it better. You're going to want to put useful content on there. Keep it short and sweet. These type of terms, what we're talking about here is the stuff that you're going to put on that Facebook page, which we're going to get into those details later on what you put on that page. But don't make it more than it needs to be. Don't go with big long posts and things like that. Just make a simple page. Don't use it every single day to where you're just overloading people. But okay, so I'm gonna kind of step back a moment, right? I'm gonna step back and I'm gonna show you. Look, I tried to do something there with there. Let's take a look at Facebook, shall we? All right, now this is my old one. It's not my current one. It's my old one, but I left it up so that we could play with it a little bit and we could look at some things. So where we're at here is we're talking about in season. Let's pretend it's not July right now. Let's pretend that it's December 1st and we are actively pushing out our display and we want people to see it. So the first thing I did, I created an image that's at the top of my Facebook page with the address, Google Maps, where you can just search into Google Maps, the Magical Lights of Malcolm, and it takes you right there for GPS purposes, and open every night, 6 to 10 p.m. I probably should have put some other details on here, like it's free of charge, there's no cost, all those type of things, whatever. But because I get those questions all the time, dear Lord, every single day you get people sending you messages about what does it cost or all these details. So this helps eliminate a lot of that type of stuff, is your cover photo. As well as you can use tools like pinning things to the top for frequently asked things. Now, posts. I don't want to go too far. I don't want to go too fast. I feel like I'm going too fast because I got 60 minutes. So you can see here a video going of our display. This is our old display at our house. There's certain things you're gonna want, right? We did this on Father's Day. We made a little Father's Day posts and whatnot. Oh, come on, scroll. Let's see here. Okay, Now we get into photos and you get into posts. So it's the active Christmas season. And what do we have going on our Facebook feed that gets us out there? Let's scroll down a little ways so that we can pretend it's earlier in the year. Okay. Trying to see of where we've done the things that we should have. So here, if you haven't seen the show yet, get out soon on Sunday the 15th. We'll completely switch up the songs. We will probably keep the but so what we're doing here, little posts like this. Tonight's going to be a super fun night. Field of Dreams will be joining us to sell hot cocoa. We've repinned this to the top. What we're doing here is having daily interactions. Here was on the 13th. Here was on the 9th. What we're trying to do is create interactions throughout the days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever, to keep on people's Facebook feeds so that as they're creating just basically so that they see it, right? I'm all over the place on this because I don't really know exactly
it's all
how
to do with the algorithm. If you post, it helps it keep it more active in people's things. But if you post more than once a day, you're competing with yourself. So there is no point in posting, multiple times throughout the day because they're not going to see it. They're going to see it one time.
Yeah, Maggie's exactly right. So posting every day, every other day, every third day, something like that. But let's go back to the slideshow here because I want to kind of get back to a few rules before we get into some more details like that. When you make posts on Facebook, spell check. One rule too, never use speak to text when you're making these posts. Oh my Lord, it's so terrible sometimes, and you get things that you didn't mean to say, and then you post it, and you get the wrong words in there. You get words, the wrong versions of the words, whatever. Spell check. Look a little professional. Spell check it. Make sure you get the right things. Here, so I want to say, be a real person. When you're promoting your Facebook, be just real. Don't try to sound too formal. Don't try to sound too businessy. Remember that this is still social media where you can just be you. So you can be a little bit more personable with people. You can be a little bit more informal, have some fun with it. After all, this is Christmas. So, all right. And be interactive. I don't want this little thing to come up because it takes away from what we're seeing at the bottom. But the be interactive, what it's supposed to say at the bottom there is respond, respond, respond. So be active on your Facebook page. Okay. People are going to comment questions, comment to you when you post pictures and videos, which we're going to get into some of that stuff later. Thank them for their positive comments, interact with them on their Facebook page. The more and more that you use your Facebook page, the more the algorithms that Facebook uses to make it appear for people, the more active it is, the more it's going to appear. So if I post a picture of some of my lights and somebody comments, oh, so pretty, I should bring my kids, comment to them. Thank you. So glad you like it. We're open every night. Or whatever, right? Be interactive and work with people. Okay, so now we're actually going to
hold on.
What, Maggie?
Something I'd like to add to that is people ask stupid questions. People will comment on your pictures and say, with the address, say, where is this located? Just remember, answer the questions, be positive. You have to take a step away, because even sometimes jokes that we think are funny or can be snarky, they don't. Yeah, like Jason wrote, what time is your 6 p.m. show? Just comment, move on, because people will notice the negative 10 times more than they'll notice the positive. That's it, Vinny. Sorry.
All right. Okay. Hey, while you were talking, I figured out how I can view the chat while I'm sharing my screen. So that's great. So if you guys have questions, 100%. Just throw them out to me as they come up. Yes, I know there's dedicated times for questions at the end, but I'd like to just answer those questions if it's on topic with what we're currently working on. So we'll make this far more of a casual presentation that way. So anyway, okay. So when you start posting things, here's what I'm going to recommend. Let's pretend there's a little schedule. It's the 1st of November. That's when we should really start be thinking about promoting our display. What I want you to do around the 1st of November and through November, October, whatever, when you're setting up your display, post weekly. Post weekly with little sneak peeks, little snippets, little, hey, you just set up your mega tree and that's a cool, right? A big staple part of your display or whatever, or props that are unique to you or to your area. Post pictures of those unique things after you've set them up once a week. All it does is it creates teasing, it creates excitement, especially if you get unique pictures. Now, the best way to get a unique picture, and I am no Tom Betgeorge on this by any means, but all I recommend to you is go at different angles, go at different viewing angles. Like a mega tree looks so cool if you take a photo 2 feet in front of it, way from the ground looking up. It's a cool picture. It gets some attention. It's neat to look at. So that type of stuff, right? And share pictures, share videos, share images of your computer screen when you're sequencing things, just things to be active out there on Facebook and create a little bit of um, interaction, creates a little bit of what do you want to say, teasing and enthusiasm for what's up and coming. Then when you
Some
get
of
in,
our
what, Maggie?
some of our best teasing pictures last year was Vinny was up on the roof, and the cats were running in and was running by the pixel tree, in and out of the pixel tree, and he took a picture of that and said, "Cats are already enjoying it. Can't wait till more people enjoy." It really had nothing to do with Christmas, but it got people excited and started looking at it.
Well, and then you start posting pictures of your kids helping you set things up and whatnot, and um, those type of things. People love seeing that type of stuff, and it gets a reason for you to get out there and get your name in front of people. Um, so once you get in season, then that's when you can start posting daily or every other day, every third day, whatever. All sorts of different things, whatever you can think of to create excitement. You can share videos of your display. I never share a video that's meant for teasing purposes that's more than about a minute long. So the videos that you see that are long, I typically won't post those till much later in the season. So for the people that haven't gotten to see it, because I don't want them to just see the whole sequence on a video and then be like, oh, okay, well, that was cool, that was neat. I want them to only see part of it and then get anticipated to actually come out to the display and see it in person. But that's where this post come into play. I put together totally fake, points aren't real, points don't matter type of things of what should I post, what gets a little bit of attention, what is Facebook like. And if you just post words of I have a Christmas display, come see it, that's going to get a certain amount of attention, but not a lot. Who cares? You post a still image of your display, that's worth more points. A video is all the better when you produce a video. And totally, I want you to go back in time a few hours and take Tom Betgeorge class on how to make a good video. But I'll be totally honest. I make a lot of videos just straight off my cell phone because they'll be like 30 seconds long. And so the fact that they're not great doesn't make a whole lot of difference because they're short. Oh, you're totally right, Michael. Video does not do your show justice compared to being there live. That's all the more reason why I say, nope, I don't want people to just watch it on the video. I just want to try to tease them and, get the video out there so that they see it and want to come to the show in person. And then Facebook Live. Oh, Facebook loves when you use their own live platform. Now, what do I mean when I say the points? It's worth 20 points, 10 points, 5 points, 1 point, whatever. All that's referring to is an imaginary system that Facebook uses for their algorithm. So if you want to say, if I post, something and you say, I never saw it, I didn't see that post. And if you scroll through your Facebook, how does Facebook decide what it's going to show you? Then these are the type of things that matter. If you want to know how does Facebook know what to show you, these are where the points kind of come in. They're going to show you videos that were shot live far more often. They're going to show videos that are gaining popularity. They're going to show that type of stuff to you far more prevalently. I'm really fumbling my words today. Anyway, question, how do you get around Facebook muting your video because of music rights? That is a great question. And if I had a clear-cut answer of this works every time, I'd give it to you. There's not a good answer. There's not a good answer on it. Me personally, I haven't had a whole lot of issues because I don't use as much common use every single day songs. But at the same time, if I'm shooting live with a little radio next to me just so I can create a short snippet, I don't have a lot of problems. And maybe that's it. Maybe because I'm only shooting videos that are short and I'm not making 2-3 minute long videos, maybe that's why I don't have a whole lot of problems. But whenever I shoot a video for teasing purposes and it's short, I'll be honest, I don't have a lot of problems. The other thing to keep in mind is that this is going to change every single year. This is going to change weekly, daily. So we figured it out last year, for example. It'll all change this year. So that's something to keep in mind as well. But if you get a good answer to that question, please let me know. Let's see. What's our next slide? Okay, this is great. Scheduled posts. This is awesome. This is a very good tool to use because I'll be honest, I forget all the time. I think about something during the day and I'm like, oh, I got to post about this. But I'm busy setting something up and I don't want to take out my phone and post about it right away. Or more importantly, I want to post a hit at a certain time of the day. I'll be honest, I'm on Facebook more prevalently first thing in the morning. That's when I spend most of my time on Facebook. I find a lot of success at that time, or in the evening, right? I say here after 8 p.m. is mom time. I don't know about anybody else. I can't speak for anybody else's wives or you, but I know about 8:30, 9 o'clock, my wife has put the kids to bed and she's sitting on the couch scrolling through Facebook. So if you can post something at that time, you are far more likely for her to see it. That's where scheduled posts come in. And that's very simple to do. But you post, you can put videos, things like that. Rather than clicking the post now button, you can schedule that. That's an excellent tool to use. Got a couple of questions that popped in here. Just to post on the page, but how do we initially draw followers to our page? Okay, we can get on that. And interact with your audience. I kind of talked about that, and be a real person. Okay, let's just cover this now. I feel like we've covered things to post from the page, but how do we initially draw followers to our page? That's awesome. That is where Maggie's going to come in a little bit, as well as I'll share that too. But Maggie, why don't you take over now? Maggie's going to talk about how to share your Facebook page to specific groups like mommy groups, for example. Maggie, go ahead.
All right. So getting people to your page. The majority of homes, the mom is going to make the plans for the evenings or outings or things like that for the kids. So you need to try to hit them. One way we have found that is very successful is hitting them is being in these mommy groups. You can usually type in your city's name or a big city around you and write, like for us, we do Husker Mommies. Everyone loves Husker football here, so that's the thing, Husker Mommies. I've done Lincoln Mommies. I've done Malcolm Mommies. Things like that. Get into those groups. The key is to get into them now and not get into them and then within 12 hours post about your show because they'll kick you out. They don't like to be spammed like that. So get in now. Just sit there. Don't say anything. Just be quiet. but you've been there a while, then post. When someone will comment, hey, is there anywhere we can go see Christmas lights? Just say, you know what? Go to my page, or come look at this. This is where we do it. Wait for them sometimes to comment. It helps so much better, and it doesn't come across as you being salesy, which moms hate that, and they won't follow it. So keep an eye on those things. The other thing is, just like Vinny had said about posting videos and teasers, do those teasers that are 30 seconds long, that their child is sitting on their lap while they're scrolling Facebook doing something, and they scroll and that song pops up and the kid goes, what's that? They sit there, they watch it for 30 seconds. The kid's done watching after 30 seconds, and mom's like, maybe we should go do this. Do those kind of things. Instagram is another one. You can hit mommy groups on Instagram. Also, have friends. Don't always have yourself posting it. I have a bunch of mommies that I'm really good friends with, and I will send them a post that I have created and say, hey, will you post this? Just tell them that you liked it. It will bring people to your page. You will, in the next hour after posting those, have a ton of people just come over. And then, after you post that, be active. Because if they come over and then they see nothing on your page, they're going to forget about it and move on. Is there anything else you want me to talk about, Vinny, about that?
No, that's good. Another thing of way of getting people to your page, a lot of that is going to happen the organic way, with particularly videos. I'll be totally honest. Videos. When you do post high quality produced videos, ones that you've spent time on, the Tom Bet George style of making videos, shooting great videos, editing them, making it a great final product, especially if those are the type of things that people want to see. For example, a local sports team, right? We live in Nebraska, big football people here, even though anybody that lives understands the Midwest, we've sucked for the last 20 years. Oh, well, we still live in the past. But we're still big football fans. So how do you use that? I post Husker related videos, Husker parts of our Facebook. What happens is that the enthusiasm behind that is people share it. They loved it. They saw the video, they share it, and people like following that. I bet you every time I post a high quality produced video, we get a few extra 100 likes on our page for everyone. I bet our best video, we probably got, 500, 750, something like that, new likes. So that's the type of thing. Posting content that people want to share because they're enthusiastic about it, or you see it with mom, she's got to share it to dad. Or my brother needs to see this, and I share it to him. What happens is all the time, I see stuff that John shared to Steve, and I see it pop up on my Facebook feed because they shared it publicly, right? When those shares happen, that's what naturally and organically builds a following. So that's the kind of the key there. The next
and
question.
Those time slots are very important. They usually say before breakfast in the morning, as people are getting ready, so early in the morning, and after kids go to bed. Those are the most popular for your parent group to hit. So making sure to tailor your posts to those time slots really do help.
Mm-hmm. Any tips on effectively using Facebook ads to gain followers? Sure. Facebook ads are great because they are cheap. They're quite cheap. $20. Well, here I just saw another one, and I'll get. Let's just read. Carl says, I had a lot of success spending like $20 on Facebook ads. Then, importantly, taking a look at the results to see who clicked on it and targeting future ads on those demographics, age, gender, zip codes, etc. Make sure you set a budget limit when doing Facebook ads, though, to make sure you don't get hit worse. So, Maggie, I got to mute you. Sounds like somebody's yelling at kids.
Sorry.
Maggie, you're gonna have to mute yourself. I can't control it. Anyway, so yes, Facebook ads are an excellent tool because it gets things out to people that you specify. Now, let's be honest and let's be realistic. I don't mean anything negatively by this. This is just real. This is just demographics that women are your target market for this. Not always, I'm not saying 100%, but 75% of, I would bet, our followers, the people that come and see our display, are because the wife saw something and made the schedule for the family. Hey, we're getting in the car after dinner. We're going to go see these lights. So you'll find a lot of women that share those type of things. So when you do Facebook ads, if the point is to get followers, make those demographics, set those demographics that I want to target women on these ages. Or if you want to go after the men or the fathers or dads or moms, but set those demographics the way that you think will be most successful. You also could throw 20 bucks at it first, just do it wide range, just do everything possible, then go back and track your demographics like what Carl had said, and see, okay, where was the success, who was most successful, and then redo it and target to those certain things. So that's one way to do it. Let's see, Matt said, I have a Facebook page and a website. I also have a address in Google. Pull up my show. Yep. Anyone see this or heard of, what did he say here? Recently I saw a post.
I will.
Homeowner.
I'll answer this, Vinny.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I mean, I know our homeowner's insurance agent knows about our Christmas lights. We have made, especially since we have a drive-through on our property, we've made sure they know. We've had, Google has known about us for 5 years now. We've been on Google Maps, and we have never had issues. I mean, I can't say honestly that you will never, because everyone's different, but we have never had issues. Our insurance agents hasn't had any concern with us doing our lights.
Yeah, I'll be honest. We actually have a rider on our insurance for our Christmas lights. The reason for that is purely the investment I have in my lights. If a tornado came through and took everything, and I say, hey, I've got $20,000 in Christmas lights, I don't want them freaking out and be like, whoa, what? We're not paying extra money for that, right? So, and it's cheap to throw extra riders. So yeah, my insurance is fully aware of our craziness. Anyway, but maybe I should add those. That's it. So anyway, yeah, if you have significant different things, having Trevor's got a rider as well. So that's something to consider with your insurance. Anyway, oh gosh, we could talk about insurance all this time. We got lots of time. Let's see, what's our next slide? Oh, there's our sponsors. That's the end of my slides. I'm going to stop sharing, and I want to use this time, if we're capable, I don't know, Carl, if you can help control this or not, to allow people to unmute themselves, and we can have a little bit of a group discussion here on what we find is successful on Facebook to promote your show.
Well, I've got it set for them to be able to unmute, so let's see.
Sweet.
They have to self-unmute. There we go.
Anybody have any ideas? Zach Susan, you're on here, I see. You've got a killer display, dude. What do you do? I'm going to call you out. I can't see your face, but I'm assuming you're there. I see your name on my screen.
Yeah, I'm here. What was the question? I was on the phone.
What are you doing on the phone, buddy? So you've got a killer display in New York. What do you do to get the word out, to get attention about it? Before you were on Great Christmas Light Fight, what did you do?
Great Christmas Light Fight?
Yep.
I didn't really do much. Someone took a video driving by, posted it online, and it got like 500,000 views, and that's how we got all of our followers. So every time I post, they just share it. I mean, my most recent post ended up getting like over 100 shares, and then that just so many people saw it, and now I have more followers. So,
do you post primarily pictures or videos?
At Christmas time, I try to post a picture every night to let people know we're open, and yeah.
Okay, so you try to post a picture every night.
Yeah.
And you like still pictures over videos?
I mean, I post a video every now and then, but it doesn't show the justice in the video, and I want people to be able to come out and see it. I post videos towards the end of the season for people that haven't seen it yet, but I try to save those for the end.
Yep, we do the same thing with videos. We save till the end. Big videos. I like the teasers along the way.
I like what Zach said about having other people. I mean, one of our most popular videos isn't really even about our light. It's about a cat that jumped in a car during our light show into someone else's car and rode around, and the kids giggling in the background. And on that post, everyone's like, "Well, where were you at? What Christmas light show were you at? What and all that." It really had nothing to do with it.
You couldn't even barely see the lights. You could see the lights in the background outside the windows. So it's good. The more interaction you can create with people like that. Yeah, there's 2 recommendations here. Here. I'm going to scroll down a couple of these. I missed on how to get the display on Google Maps. Maggie, answer that.
You go to Google Maps and they're on their website, and you can, it's like a submit process, and then they have to send you a postcard saying, yes, this is to that address. You then have to take a code that's on this postcard that they send back to the website and put that code in. It's just their way of checking.
It's a verification process.
Yeah, but if you go to Google Maps, not on your phone, but actually on a computer on the website, it will talk you through it, because I am not very good at those things at all, and I was able to do it.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, they do make it very simple because Google wants it. And it's a great tool to have if people can just simply type it in. Okay, the next thing, we've had great success on nextdoor.com as well. Nextdoor is cool in the communities that use it. I'll be honest, where I live, Nextdoor is virtually nothing. It's non-existent. However, when we lived in the city, it was far more commonly used. So Nextdoor is a good app. Now, next thing, Jason had said he recommends christmaslightguide.com. There's that one, christmaslightguide.com and christmaslightfinder.com. One of the reasons that these are particularly good is not just because they're listed there, but also it makes things now Google searchable, meaning I want to, I'm an average Joe and I want to view Christmas lights, and I type into Google Christmas lights in my area, Christmas lights near me, whatever. These are the type of websites that will likely pop up. So if somebody is just simply, they want to Google search around your area, these are great ways to make yourself Google searchable.
Vinny?
Yes, Michael Downey.
Hey, Michael.
Hey, what's up? One of the things that we do is that if you live in an area that has several light shows, we actually put a map of the light shows within like a 10-mile radius of our show and put it on our site, and then went to like city sites and said, hey, if you want to, see, what light shows are in your area and everything. And we get hundreds and hundreds of hits of people that normally we would never reach. And they end up coming in, and most of them like our page. So in other words, share. I mean, we have about 10 shows within a 4-mile radius here. And it's really cool because people can come and just spend a whole evening going from one to another. And it's kind of a neat way to do a public service for them, and yet drive them to your page at the exact same time.
Mm-hmm. And that kind of got me thinking too about, sorry, Maggie, go ahead.
I could not agree more with Michael. I know there's some places here that, and they do it a lot in the mommy group, where they will do a Christmas light route and have a route to take. Make sure that you try to get your houses on those routes. And I've always, if there's another house that I know of in the area that does lights, I'll be like, don't forget this house also. If you show them that you're willing to talk about other houses too, they love that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, reach out. I'll be honest, reach out to those things. When you see like Christmas light tours, um, a lot of limousine companies or party bus companies, they'll do Christmas light tours in the season. Contact them, call them, make sure they know about your house, because most of them, they have to put together these lists themselves on what tour, what route they're taking, what are the houses. We reached out to some of them, and I'll be honest, we had one company that actually ended up, because we live about a half hour outside the city, they ended up having a special tour that basically just comes to our house. They pick people up. It's a 2-hour thing. They pick you up. They take you to a couple bars. They take you out to our house to see lights. Then they take you back to the city and drop you off. And that's the 2-hour light tour. So, but it got me thinking on groups. Another place that you can search groups and whatnot is a lot of those like Facebook sale ad groups. For sale, there are just tons and even in my small community, I think we've got 3 different options on a Facebook groups of where you can sell stuff. And those are very active type of groups. Post it out there for free. Say it's free Christmas light show. That's a great way to get yourself a little bit more attention, especially when people say that things are free. All right, kind of going down this list. If you are collecting donations for a charity, make sure that the charity assists your online marketing and social media. Totally. Absolutely. If you are collecting for Shriners or Make-A-Wish or Red Cross, whatever. Yeah, totally. Make sure that they post something too. At least twice during the season is the least they could do for you, because you're just driving more money for them. So totally get their help. And I highly recommend people that collect donations. If it's a possible thing for you to do, what better way to use the attention than that? Also sending out press release to media outlets. Yes, so great thing. When we made some really good videos, high quality videos of like Husker songs, we would share that to our TV outlet Facebook pages and our radio station outlets. And within a few days, the TV stations are out here wanting to do interviews or do stories about the lights. I think we've been on both of our TV stations every year for the last 3 years. They always want to do a story, and it's like they don't even put the connection together that, hey, we did a story last year too. It's like a new story every year. But what better way to get attention for yourself? So instead of just thinking of, gee, how can I do it? Yeah, put it up on yourself and share it to them.
Also, along that same line, with the Husker song, we had Jordan Nash help us with an amazing video. Vinny shot drone, Jordan helped us. It was amazing. Well, we shared that, and then Vinny posted in that share, let's see how many Huskers can share this. Well, it got shared enough that the alumni boosters at the university actually saw it, and then they ended up coming out and filming their own thing and making it the official Nebraska University Christmas virtual card was our house. And that was just making a post saying, let's see how many times we can get this shared.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we totally did that last year. We were like, oh, we want to make sure this is seen by all the higher ups at the university. So we just made a challenge and got thousands of shares. One that I definitely want to address here. What's the best way to manage negative comments or messages? Now, this is only—
Don't let Maggie answer.
Yeah, definitely. If it pisses you off, do not respond right away. Let it cool. Let it cool. Now, I'll be totally honest here. All right. This is my personal opinion only, backed by no real science, personal feelings. I would say that for everyone that gets upset over something, they just say, not that cool, or not even, just they post mean or unnecessary things. One, I think with some of the types of pages you create, you have the ability to delete those. So that's an option if it's possible. So look at that. That may be an option. But the other thing to do is either don't respond to them or kill them with kindness. So you can either leave it alone or kill them with kindness. But I'll be honest, this is where I'm saying it's personal feelings only. I think that most people, the general public, the majority of people see those type of things and agree with you that they were unnecessarily mean and hurtful. It's the concept of the loud minority. Um, it's the one or two people, the sour apples, that ruin it for the whole. You might get hundreds of people that viewed it. One person said something negative. Most of those other 100 people that see it are going to feel the same way that you do, that, wow, that was just unnecessary, mean, and hurtful. But most people don't go out of their way to engage in the argument and say, oh, I'm going to defend this light show by commenting back and saying you're just being mean. you know Most people won't do that, but they'll most agree with you. So if you keep that in mind, you don't necessarily have to engage the negative stuff.
We did have
I'll
a
just
negative post. We did have a negative post on our Google reviews last year. Oh, it made me really mad. But they posted, like, they took 7 different pictures. They gave us a 1 star and didn't leave a comment or anything. So Vinny, being the bigger person than I would have been, he commented on it and said, "Oh, I'm so sorry you posted 1 star. Is there anything you would like for us to change? We're always looking for some ideas." Yes, we might not take any of their ideas actually and do any of it. We might not even care what they have to say, but everyone else saw that we took the effort to try to learn and to help or whatever. Now, they still to this day have never commented, and I did some snooping and found out that they actually only do 1 stars to every single thing they've ever posted. So that's just the type of person that person is. And you just got to move past it. But
Yep. Okay, there's other questions here I want to try to buzz through so that we get them answered all. I don't want to leave anything unanswered, so I'm going to try to do these quickly. How are you creating your graphics for your Facebook page? I'll be honest, I'm really terrible at graphics, and I became friends with JR. That's how. No, so it doesn't have to be flashy. It doesn't have to be fancy. You do your best. You spend an evening playing, doing some Google searching on simple and cheap graphic Illustrator type of stuff, and you play with it enough and you can create things that look decent. A little bit of Google searching, an evening worth of playing, and you'll probably come up with stuff that's just fine. Be honest, I'm terrible at that stuff. So I luckily have friends that help me out on a lot of that type of stuff. What category to use for Google Maps? I would recommend things that would probably be around events and entertainment type of stuff, that type of avenue. I don't know Google Maps all that well, but I would say that's probably going to be your best bet. I created a business and claimed to use Holiday Home for Google. Sorry, while I'm scrolling through these. When is the best time in the year to reach out to TV stations and websites about doing a piece on your house? Well, I would say there's no wrong time. You don't want to go too late in the year. The first week of December, realistically, because by that time, the Christmas thing is in full swing, full on everybody's mind. But it also gives the TV station time to
Vinny,
schedule it. Yes, Mike.
I will tell you, I used to work with a lot of news agencies, and you don't want to, like you were saying, don't do it too early, because their news cycle, literally what they will do is that if you tell them something, they'll forget it 3 days later. And so, because they're looking for the next story. So I would kind of wait until the beginning of December and say, hey, we have this really neat thing, and let them know about it, because if they'll assign it to a reporter, they'll come out and take a look. They'll shoot the story if they're going to shoot it. And then it takes them, they shoot stories and put it up same day. So basically, when you want them to run the story, that's when you let them know, because they'll be either very quick with it, or they'll run the story past their reporters and nobody wants to do it. So, it's not like they set up a week or two ahead of time. Those are for huge stories that, like, they've been doing investigation for months. type thing. For something like us, pick when you would like them to do a story, then contact them. And if they're going to do it, they'll do it very quickly. They'll do it within a couple of days.
Mm-hmm. They really will. I would say start around the first week of December. Um, when your show is active, running, all looking good, fully operational, that's when you should do it. It gives them both time to schedule it. Don't be afraid to bug them a couple times too. If it's worth it, totally. Don't be afraid to bug them because you don't know what's going on. They may not see stuff. They also, like Mike said, totally can forget about it. They can, yeah, who knows? Those people are all over the place. And I hope some of you here work for a news agency so that I just insulted you. That's always fun for me to do. Adobe Spark is great for graphics. I use Christmas Store and Google Biz to get it on Earth. So I don't know how much more else I have. If there's any more questions, I mean, definitely throw them in. One thing I want you guys to think about is that there's no perfect system. There's no just here, take this guidelines, do step 1 through 3, and then repeat and repeat and repeat. The biggest piece that I have for you guys is I recommend you be active. Just be active with your Facebook page, with the followers, with the comment sections. Use the Facebook Live tools. Go out in your display and stand in the display and go Facebook Live. Yeah, just be active.
Something I would add is I know that there's always people every year that say like their family wants them to quit because they don't feel like they're involved or things like that. This is a great way to get, if you have an older high school teenager that loves social media, ask them to run your Facebook page. Mm-hmm. Give them jobs. This looks mostly male. Give your wife, give your husband the job of running the social media, or this is a great way to include the people who maybe don't care about how to run that circuit board thingamajiggy or that software. Yeah, I don't. So this is what I do. And so, it's a great way to involve the rest of the family so that you don't run into those issues.
Trevor said you didn't talk about Facebook events. That's totally another tool you can use on Facebook, Facebook events. Now, one thing to think about on that is because of the Facebook events and you're talking about frequency, where we said post every day or every 2 days, 3 days, whatever, and it's a frequency thing, maybe consider making that event on much different days. Make a Friday event, make a Sunday event. And especially if you can create special situations, right? We have sometimes a local charity comes out and they sell hot cocoa at our display and they keep, all the proceeds and stuff for that. So that's an event. Or if we say, hey, just this day, we're doing the fundraising for a different charity. So make that an event, a separate event, make it a frequency thing.
All right, cool.
All right, Carl, you can take it over, buddy.
Vinny, Maggie, thank you very much. That was awesome. And everybody, all the questions, I think that it's a great format. And there are those, it's all about what is your goal, right? So do you want to present it? Do you want to promote it? Do you want 1,000 people coming to your display, or do you want it to be, organic? A lot of times people will call the local news, right? And they'll have them come out and make you famous. So it's all personal preference.
I could not agree more, Carl.
All right.
Carl, I like it a lot more when you have your video on. We like seeing your pretty face.
I know you do. So what I am going to do is, let's see. I think I want to share this screen for now. And we are going to bring over a couple things. We have the raffle, of course, which everybody's interested in. But
what are we giving away?
Well, let's see here. First thing I want to do, though, is I want to make sure, this is live television here. I want to make sure that we recognize our sponsors here. And then what I am going to do is I am going to stop the Where is it? We want to stop the live stream somewhere. Stop live. Wait, live.